Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are and what time you're at. It is morning here, about 7:30 in the morning. And other than it being cloudy, there's good reason to be happy. And that big reason really is going to start with the point about crowds. And in reading in Matthew for today, one of the big points that I remembered was back in 1984 when I was in college. The biggest, well, maybe not the biggest, but the loudest crowd I had ever been in was in the basketball arena at college because President Ronald Reagan came by and I was in the marching band and we had to play Hail to the Chief when he came in. That seems to be the theme song for every president is Hail to the Chief. It was the loudest experience I'd ever had, not because the band was playing, but because all of these college students were shouting and screaming. I had to cover my ears. It was so loud. People were really excited that the president had come to Bowling Green State University. So that came up in my mind in reading this section in Matthew chapter 5. This is a point after which Jesus has been healing many people. He's been traveling around the area of Galilee, and the word has gotten out that Christ is healing people of all kinds of diseases, of all types of afflictions. He helps the blind, people with mental problems. All these people are being aided by Christ. So we get to this very important moment when Christ kind of feels he's getting tired out. He's got to get away. And so in chapter 5, this comes at the very beginning. Now, when he saw the crowds, he went up the mountainside. More crowds. He seems to be trying to get away from them to get a little bit of a break. And sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they are comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of their righteousness, because of their belief in God, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me." That means because you are a follower of Christ. "Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Jesus is recognizing the place of not just himself, but of all the people who are following him, who need him. They are seeing something more about life than the everyday. They are seeing something greater, and they are very much drawn to this. They want to be connected to this. And it's not just because he's healing, though that is a great thing in itself, and it draws people to him. So this collection of blessings, blessed are these, blessed are those, these are called the Beatitudes. You may have heard that term before. And Beatitude simply means blessing. So these Beatitudes, these blessings to people are something that Christ holds out. You will find contentment. You will find satisfaction, no matter what is happening to you, no matter the struggles that you're going through. These will come to you. The suffering will eventually pass. This is kind of important for us to think about in all kinds of times, particularly in the past year and a half, and maybe even now. How many people have suffered because of the pandemic, because of the COVID-19? How many people suffer even without a pandemic around? How many people don't have friends or don't feel that they have friends? How many people suffer from mental illness? How many people suffer from any type of illness? How many people suffer from pain in their joints? How many people are just depressed? Those are who we need to think about. And those are who Christ thinks about when he is up on that mountainside, telling all these people who have been coming to him, not just the disciples, but telling all of them in one big moment, it will not last. Things will get better for you. That's the important lesson that comes from Christ here, that there is, in a way, a happiness that comes. It may not be right now, but we have to look always to the future, which is where, again, we meet Christ. Well, thank you for this time today. I'll see you next week. Next week will be my last week in front of you. I hope this has given you something to think about as you go into the week ahead. Bye-bye.